Hello everyone!
Hi.
Welcome back to another video, Cook With Me. And even today we're gonna cook along with my sister as usual. And today we are going to cook our own Naga special dish, and that is anishi, which is made of fermented yam leaves with smoked pork and rusup. And rusup is a mixture of vegetables with fermented dry fish. So now we are going to our kitchen garden to pluck some vegetables which we'll be using for cooking. So let's go. So today we are going to start off by collecting some brinjals from our garden, and this is for rusup curry. So we are going to collect as much as we can for one meal. And here we are collecting some fresh green chilies. You can see how healthy and how fresh it is. Actually, I shoot this video a week back, but I didn't get time to edit it, so I'm really sorry. So actually, rusup is good when you eat or when you serve it after a day after it's cooked, because it's better to eat rusup once it cools down. It tastes much better than eating it right after it is cooked. Yeah, and here we are collecting some napa, which is in the Autalic, of course, and in English it will be basil leaves, if I'm not wrong, correct me. It tastes like tulsi, but of course a little different taste, and we're gonna use it for anishi curry. And today I'll be the camera woman. I'm gonna let my sister collect everything. That's my dad. Last time me and my mom, we worked here, but we couldn't finish it, so my dad is doing the finishing task. So me and my sister, we are now on our way to collect some tender yam leaves for rusup. And you should be very careful when you're choosing yam leaves, because some are non-eatable and some are really itchy ones. So we are going to collect eatable and non-itchy ones. So we are collecting only the tender part, the tender yam leaves. So the matured yam leaves is used for making anishi. So it's a long process, I will tell you. So you will see Amiko in almost all my videos from now on until I leave home to UK. Yeah. So we are going now to the other part where we have again some yam leaves. Come fast. Good boy. So me and my sister, we are here. There is another portion of yam plants here. So my sister is collecting the tender ones. Actually, we have lots of yam plants in our garden, so it was not difficult for us to get for one meal, and we don't even need to go to the market to buy them. So we are so blessed. Here, this is pomelo, the fruit, also known as chimpen in Autalic. It is known for the largest citrus fruit. So me and my sister, we are moving towards home now, but on our way we stopped nearby the small garden here. So she's looking for long beans known as lobia beans. Actually, if you can add that in rusup, then it's really good, but we couldn't find one because they were all young and tender, so we thought we will skip it this time. If possible, even you can add bitter gourd. It will give you a very vibrant taste, but since we don't have one, so we are going to use this small and round bitter eggplant. So this will give you a slight bitter taste. And me and my sister, we saw a chili plant which was already dying, so we thought that we will pluck all the chilies from that plant. Now let's start cooking anishi first. So this is smoked pork, and I'm gonna wash them with hot water because it has a smell since it was dried in the fireplace, so it has a smoke smell. So in order to remove that, and also if there is any dirt, many people, they even use smoked beef, but for me, I actually prefer this pork fats, smoked fats because it gives much better taste. And yeah, I'm cutting them into small pieces. Now this is it. This is called anishi. So it is known as dried yam leaves cake. Yeah, and in order to get this result, you have to do a lot of things. Like there's a long process and it is very expensive. So you have to first collect the matured yam leaves, wrap them until it turns yellow, and then you have to bound it, and you have to keep it for days again near the fire. You have to bound them again. It's quite a lot and it's very expensive. That's the reason. So per kg we used to buy by 650, 750. So after I soaked that this anishi, I'm gonna burn them and mash them, because that makes this more softer, because it is really hard and dry. Even if you cook for so long, it will still remain very hard. So this is it. So our friends will agree with me if I say that the best anishi will get it from Seungratsu village. So I really love anishi from Seungratsu village, and this anishi is from Seungratsu village. And here I will add 1 tomato, and some few red dried chilies. So if you want more spicy, you can add more, and if you want less spicy, then you can add less. So I'm removing the seeds and I'm gonna wash them and add them. Now this is done. Now I'm gonna add some salt and add some water. So depends upon you how much water you want to use. For me, I'm adding around 3 cups of water because I want more gravy. And here it is. Now we will start with making russup. So me and my sister, we're going to cut the brinjal and we're going to soak them to remove some bitterness, as well as you can see the stem that I got from cutting brinjal. And if you soak them for around 20 minutes, then you will see that it will produce a dark brown color. So for that reason we soaked them. And now we are going to clean the chili and all the vegetables like yam leaves that we got from the garden. And now I've washed them and I'm adding them, putting them in the cooking pot. So I love adding green chilies in russup. So you can see we have already added tender yam leaves and green chilies and that bitter small and round eggplant. And now I'm gonna wash these Szechuan pepper leaves. Actually, even this is good for anishi, but I'm gonna use only that basil leaves. So for russup, I'm using these Szechuan pepper leaves. And now I'm gonna add 1 tomato. After that, I'm gonna wash some oyster mushroom. So even I'm gonna add this in the russup. After I wash them thoroughly, I'm adding them in the pot. And here is brinjal. So as you can see, the water is turned into brown color. And now I'm gonna add some fermented bamboo shoot juice. Actually, you can put water, but we don't have one, so I'm using that. And I'm gonna mix them thoroughly and add some salt. So mix them thoroughly before you cook, because once it starts cooking, you cannot stir them because it will make the russup itchy and you won't be able to eat. I'm gonna add less water because the yam leaves will produce more water while cooking. And after that, I'm gonna put them in the stove until it dries. Here it is, and here we can see it's almost cooked. Now it's time for us to mash the anishi and the chili and tomato. So most of the people even they use potato in anishi. For me, I don't prefer using potato because if you have less anishi, if you don't have anishi, then you can use 1 anishi or 2 anishi along with the potato. But since I've added already 4 anishi, I thought I want to use potato. So it's almost done. Now I'm gonna mash some naga garlic, which I got it from my garden. It's also known as Chinese onion. And also I've washed some basil leaves that we just plucked it from the garden, and add some garlic. So it smells so good. And it's done. So I'm going to close the lid and cook it for another 5 minutes and then put off the flame. Now we are going to make chutney. So this chutney is my own recipe. I love making chutney in this way. So I've already warmed the mustard oil and I am adding some tomato. So I'll fry them for a while, and I add some raja chili. I thought I was shooting, but I didn't shoot it, so I'm so sorry. After that, I'm frying some fermented dry fish. I've already mashed some raw garlic, and I'm mashing the king chili, naga king chili. And at the meantime, I'm going to stir that fermented dry fish to make sure it's not burning. And I'm going to mash everything together. Now the fish is done. When it is hot, I'm trying to remove the innards because it will give a very bitter taste if you add that. So make sure that you remove that. And I also remove all the bones from the fish, and I add them in the chutney after tearing them into small pieces. Yeah, now it's almost done. I'm gonna mix them all together. So if you have never tried this chutney, then make sure that you try it, and I will tell you that you are gonna thank me later. So this is done. Now I'm gonna burn some dry fermented fish again. So this is for rusup. So rusup is incomplete without this fermented fish. So you can see that it's almost cooked, the water is almost drying. I'm not using spoon because I don't want my rusup to be very itchy. So after a few minutes, I'm gonna put off the flame. So this is the final look. This is anishi, a local chicken cooked in bottle gourd, and sprouts, lemon. There is rusup, chutney, rice, and pepper, because that's my favorite. So now we are gonna have our dinner together. So we're gonna have a dinner now, and of course my sister, she helped me in cooking. So you can see my mom. I hate someone. Hi. And my dad here. Hi. And my younger sister, Naro. So my mom and dad, they are gonna taste the food. And of course it's not the first time they're testing the food, but yeah, since it's the first video, they'll let me know how much I will score out of 10. Ayun ang kuya care. Gusto Jojo, tsang nga t-shirt.
First class oh. Paka.
Out of 10 kuya.
Out of 10. 10.
Okay. 10 out of 10.
Out of 10.
Oh, apa? Out of 10 kuya.
Out of 10 to 10.
10.
Solid. Solid.
Solid. Amo kuya. Of course you helped me, but still.
I'll give you 9.
9.
Yeah.
Why 9?
Because I helped you.
Okay, fine.